Win as one. EA Sports FIFA 21 sponsors Saturday Social.
Let's move it on quickly because this week we saw the January transfer window slamming shut. A pretty busy deadline day for some teams, including Liverpool. So today I thought it'd be a good idea to review each team's business. We're going to get 30 seconds on the clock and get the boys' thoughts on them. Let's just start straight away with Arsenal. Obviously brought in Martin Ødegaard, plenty of Deadwood out the club. So the question we want answering in 30 seconds. Let's come to you for this, Chunkz. Will Arsenal fans be happy with their transfer business?
Based on the departures, I think people are happy because they're finally getting rid of the deadwood, as people say, but I don't think there were many deadwood. Am I happy with the players we brought in? Yes, I am, but I'm also better about the fullback options because we have Cedric that's covering both Bellerin and Tierney, so it's going to be a bit shy on the fullbacks, and I'm a bit worried as to see what happens if one of them get injured. So maybe bolster up on the fullbacks, but all in all, yeah, quite happy with the business.
Love it.
Nice. Well, next up is Aston Villa. And the question we're asking is, should Aston Villa have made further signings? They signed Morgan Sanson, who was a midfielder from Marseille and was one of Marseille's best players. Zuu, what do you think, mate?
I think with the Premier League being so tight and, you know, that kind of top 10 of the table just changing every other day, and Aston Villa in the mix, and they proved they can play football. You know, they beat Liverpool 7-2. And, you know, it's easy when you support a big club to just think that signings come like that. And it's not easy, but I definitely think they should have maybe just looked at buffering up maybe that strike force, you know, seeing who else they can add in there, because I feel like they've got potential, man.
Look at this, professional outfit. Everybody getting 30 seconds on the dot. Right, let's move on to Brighton. Obviously, they let Matty Ryan leave for Arsenal, didn't they? So will Brighton miss Matt Ryan? Chunkz, he's joined your club. What are your thoughts?
Matt Ryan, I remember watching him at the Amex, I think it was like 2 years ago. I liked him a lot, and now he's at the club, and obviously he's a long-time supporter of Arsenal, so it only makes sense for that appointment. But I don't think they'll miss him too much because they're very happy with their current goalkeeper. I know he's playing very well, and they've got a good option. So I don't think they'll miss him much.
Yeah, they're pretty impressive midweek. You've only got 8 seconds, Zuu, but how good, Brighton?
They're okay.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Burnley now. Did we expect more from Burnley following their takeover? They signed absolutely no one. Zuu, what are your thoughts on Burnley?
Yeah, I mean, this is always a weird one with new owners and how they get on with the fans. You know, Burnley definitely could do with some more players, you know, but we've seen against Liverpool, they can get results and they can play good football. Even with the match with United a couple of weeks ago when Pogba had to score that one and he got the 1-0, you can tell they've set up differently compared to how they started the season. So any signings would have definitely helped. And I feel bad for the fans. I feel it for the fans, man. They don't choose these things, man.
Good answer. Good answer. Let's move on to Chelsea then, because there was no real business other than Tomori leaving for AC Milan. So the question we want answering is, will Thomas Tuchel be happy with Chelsea's transfer window? Chunkz, thoughts on that Tomori deal?
I think it was needed. It was overdue. He needed to get minutes. I don't know how he got even exiled from the club in the first place. In my opinion, he's like one of the best centre-backs at Chelsea. So happy to see him get regular football at Milan. And you can see he's already started there. He's already getting minutes. So I think Thomas Tuchel will be happy with the transfer window because it's like, I don't think they needed much. I think they need to mesh in with their players right now. So, yeah, I think he was brought in to help the Germans like Havertz and Werner. So I think he'll get them playing soon. He should be happy with the window.
Yeah, did spend a lot of money last summer as well, didn't they, Zach? Let's not forget that. You're a big Chelsea fan, so I just wanted to remind you of that.
Anyway, Crystal Palace up next. Will Jean-Philippe Mateta bring goals to Crystal Palace? Keep in mind, he scored 7 in just 15 games for Mainz in the Bundesliga. And to be quite honest, Palace need goals up front. Zuu, what do you think?
Yeah, it's a weird one. We was obviously speaking about this before, talking about the strikers at Palace, you know, Benteke and their man there. And it's like the lack of goals from them is unbelievable. So if he can come through and make a change for Palace, it will definitely flip up the thing, you know? Because right now, Palace, you know, they can be so dangerous and then sometimes they can just be so quiet and nothing happens. So I feel like they definitely needed someone to help them goals come through.
All right, let's move on to Everton then, because there was one big name arrival at the club. That was Josh King joining. He's 29 years old, but Chunkz, do you think he'll be a success at Everton?
He's Premier League proven, you know what I mean? You've seen him do it at Bournemouth, so I reckon that's a good appointment. I feel like with DCL, like having some dry patches sometimes, he can come in and like do a job as well. So yeah, I think with Everton trying to go higher up in the table, it makes sense to increase on the squad depth. So yeah, I think he'll do pretty well with the minutes he gets given.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that one. I know he hasn't scored a goal in the Championship this season, but let's not forget he has in the past scored plenty of Premier League goals. So maybe just needed to freshen up a little bit, Djellab.
Indeed. And we moved to London for this one with Fulham. Should Fulham have done more business to help stay in the Premier League? Now, they only brought in Josh Maja, who scored 2 goals all season. We know him from Sunderland and moving to Bordeaux. What do you think, Zuu?
Yeah, it's not been the most exciting January transfer window. Feel like the kind of position we are in the world kind of plays into that. I think with Fulham, you know, when you watch them play, you definitely see sparkles of good moments of football, you know. And it's sad because I feel like every time these men come up, they just go down. It's like, yo, you might as well just allow it. So, fam, I don't know. Craven Cottage, you man got to start spending the peas, because if not, Scott Parker's going to start looking old.
Scott Parker will be a good-looking old guy, though. I tell you now, he's one of the best managers in the league. Let's move on to the next side. It's Leeds, and they had no signings this window either. Now, famously, they get quite tired in the second half of seasons under Bielsa because he works them so hard. Chunkz, do you think that's going to be a problem? And did they need to do anything?
Yeah, especially with the COVID season that we have, like people playing every 3 days, feels like the NBA, you know what I mean? But I feel like with the players they have right now, we got Jack Harrison, Alioski, Rafinha, I think they're playing very well. So because it's their first season back as well, I feel like it's a bit of a big risk to just come in and start spending a crazy amount of money. So just finding his feet, and I feel like Bielsa's had a good first season in terms of the first half anyway. Did they need to do anything? Potentially could have brought in a couple of signings, but then I feel like they're doing pretty well right now anyway, so there's nothing to worry about right now.
Perfect. Now we move on to Leicester, who have been pretty good this season. I'm pretty sure they're proud of where they are. Should Leicester have signed cover for Jamie Vardy? He's missed 5 games this season through injury, Zuu. What do you think, mate?
Yeah, I think considering they're above Liverpool in the league, which is very painful, it is something that they definitely need to be mindful of. Because when you come against teams like City, who have 700 players for one position, you know, it's going to be techie. You know,
bitterness, the absolute bitterness in your voice.
Yeah, I don't know about that, man. I don't know.
He scored the other day, blood. Started.
Right, let's move on to your beloved Liverpool then. They're up next, and deadline day was busy for the Reds, obviously bringing in 2 central defenders, but will Ben Davies and Ozan Kabak be able to cope in the Premier League? Zuu, we're coming back to you. Sorry, Chunkz, 30 seconds. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Listen, I'm not them fake fans that are like, oh, he was absolutely wonderful at Preston, mate. Absolutely. Listen, brother. I don't know about these dogs. I don't know about these, man.
Though. You needed someone.
Listen, we got two, so I'm happy. I just can't wait till they start together and it just goes so well, and then everyone just doesn't say anything anymore.
Love the positivity. Fair play. I love the positivity.
Yeah, we'll see about that, Zee. I mean, you never know. You never know. Manchester City now. And should Manchester City have further strengthened their squad? They signed no first-team players. What do you think, Chunkz, mate? They're top of the league.
I feel like, I feel like it's their season this year. Anyone that finishes above Man City won the league if that's the case. But potentially strengthening up on that striker position, because Aguero's just been very on and off. I haven't really seen much of him, and then Gabriel's just sometimes, you know, I mean, he doesn't contribute the most when it comes to the goal. So I feel like in order to shore up that title, they could have brought in another striker. But at the end of the day, with how the league's going right now, I feel like it is theirs, and it's not the worst news. You know what I mean? They can do that in summer.
Indeed.
Yeah, let's move on to Manchester United then. Another quiet window for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Just the arrival of Amad Diallo, although he was kind of a summer signing, delayed until January. How exciting do you think that is, Zuu? And obviously, you've been very vocal about Man United on social media recently. Let's chat about it. What's happening?
I love watching them lose. Nah, do you know what?
You nervous?
It's funny because you know what? I'll be real. I saw a video of him doing some 1-2s and doing some shots. He looks a bit dangerous. I mean, United, I'll be real. They've emerged and come through this season, and I feel like anyone they can add to that squad will just. I feel like the more people they add, the more the kind of things just building up. I feel like they're just creating this takeover, and I'm scared.
Newcastle now, and one of your Arsenal boys, Joe Willock, is there on loan. Do you think he will help keep them up, Chunkz?
I think with the, the quality of the club in terms of how big they are, just the history with Newcastle, they're not going to get relegated. And obviously Joe Willock coming in, I feel like he is an exciting player. Last year, I think he was the most high scoring midfielder. It would be nice for Callum Wilson to get help with the goals. So he's exciting, He's fresh. I feel like he's going to come into the team and do something that they haven't had in Newcastle. So, I definitely think he's going to help them up. Just can't wait to see him get minutes, because when he gets minutes, he's confident, man.
All right, let's move on to Sheffield United then. And not really any signings for Chris Wilder. Are they resigned to relegation now, Zuu?
I can't lie. They could have bought bare players. It would have still been the same situation. It's been weird watching the team go from such like amazing results last season and being talked about as one of the best like promoted teams to going down to like not doing anything amazing apart from beating United, which was great. But I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. I think even adding players, not adding players, I think it's a mental thing, and they're very down right now. Very down.
Fair.
Indeed. Southampton is up next, and they brought in on loan Liverpool's Takumi Minamino. Now, will he do well at Southampton, Zuu? Obviously, you might know a little bit more about him.
Yeah, I mean, watching him play at Liverpool, I don't think he fitted into the style. He loves taking on players, he loves dribbling, he loves intricate passes, but it just weren't working with him within our squad. And I definitely see him as a threat going forward. So, and with Ings and that over there, Southampton, they play good football. So him getting on the end of stuff, I definitely could see him getting some goals in, but they definitely need to stop losing 9-0 and stuff before that.
It's too soon.
What a first day
it's too soon for the
What a first day of training that would have been. 9-0. Right, let's move on to Tottenham Hotspur, because no signings, but Dele Alli tried to leave, didn't leave. Should they have let him go though, Chunkz?
Yeah, I think it's time to part ways, man. With the Euros coming up, I feel like people like Jesse Lingard, Dele Alli, I think they need to get the minutes again to prove to Southgate as to why they have so many caps for England. So, definitely agree that he should leave. He's not really getting any minutes at Tottenham. Something between him and the manager. It was a bit weird because when Jose came in, they were playing very well, and he liked Ali quite a bit. So, it's just that time where you let him go and let him get the minutes he deserves somewhere else and try and get himself back into that Euro squad.
Nice. Well, we move on to West Brom, and the guy who managing them is the guy who managed Chunkz as well for Soccer Aid. Now, can Big Sam signings keep West Brom up? They've also brought in Maitland-Niles. What do you think, Chunkz?
Maitland-Niles, one of the greatest signings of the window, to be honest. He's absolutely excellent. He can play left back, right back, centre mid. He can even play in goal if you want him to. I like him a lot. So I understood that signing, but you know what? He could have signed me up. He's seen what I was capable of at Soccer Aid, bar the penalties. I wouldn't mind going to West Brom, to be honest. You know what I mean? But yeah, with the signings he has, I think it's a little too late. Might be a little too late.
You never know, mate.
Let's move on to West Ham then, because they let Seb Allaire go for 22 million, but they did sign Jesse Lingard. Great debut. How do you think he's going to get on, Zuu?
I mean, that debut, I've never seen Twitter get behind the player so much. It was sick. It was great to see. Like it was a positive moment. You never see that stuff online. It's like people just complaining and stuff. This is a person that people have ridiculed and taken the mick out of a lot of, but we're actually happy to see him get into a good place where he's scoring goals. And I think with West Ham's form, he can really flourish there, man. They ain't got a player like him, so I mean, I wish him the best of luck. And
Now, Wolverhampton, well, we're asking, where could Wolves have improved their squad? They brought in Willian Jose up front. Now, Chunkz, what do you think, seeing as they beat Arsenal?
Yeah, to be fair, you need to chill out there and then. they've lost Raul Jimenez that's scoring 15, 20 goals in the year, so in the season. Sorry, so that's a big miss for them. And they brought in William Jose, which has already cheated his way to get a result for him. So it's a good sign. I feel like they could have improved when it comes to the midfield because I haven't had much Ruben Neves this year. So yeah, they could have potentially gotten a new midfielder.